Etsy is starting to expand on a feature that a lot of sellers hate. So, if you are looking for something to gripe about, this is probably going to be it. I want to dive into what this feature is and a lot of other stuff that I want to talk about on this episode of Seller News. Let's go. Hey everyone, what is going on? Welcome back to the Handmade and Beyond podcast. I am your host, LL, and we are here for the special Seller News edition where we talk about the latest news, things that you guys need to know in regard to selling on Etsy, online, e-commerce world. And I got another great episode for you guys. While you may not like to hear what I have to say in this episode, it's still good information to know about. So the first thing that I'm going to dive into is the recent processing time change. So this is something that Etsy rolled out where you can select to include Saturdays and Sundays as part of your processing time. And this can, before Etsy would not include these days, so it would expand out the time frame that buyers would expect their orders to arrive. Now, if you include in those processing times, they can expect orders to arrive sooner, especially if you are packaging and fulfilling orders on the weekend. Obviously, we can't ship stuff out on Sundays. If you're using USPS, I think you can still, I don't know if UPS is open, FedEx is open on Sundays. I'm not sure. I think depending on if you go to like the FedEx store, you can. Anyways, USPS is primarily what people will use, and they are closed on Sundays. But if you fulfill orders on Saturdays and Mondays, you could still get stuff out fast. So this is just a way to increase the amount of time or decrease the amount of time that customers can expect to get their orders. You can easily update this in your shipping profiles if you want to go ahead and do that. So that you can add that to your processing times. Maybe you don't want to. It's totally up to you. I fulfill orders every other day, so I like to get stuff out as fast as possible, and so I definitely change this in my shipping profiles because I want people to have the perception that they're going to get stuff faster, or faster than what it was before. So I definitely made this change. So if you want to do that, go ahead and change that. But I wanted to let you know that is an updated feature. The other thing, before we get to the controversial thing, the other thing that's happening is UPS is negotiating right now, but they may actually be going on strike. The deadline for their negotiation is until August 1st. So if you use UPS, if you ship bigger stuff, you use UPS, make sure you're starting to prepare to use other platforms, FedEx, USPS, whatever the case may be, because there may be substantial delays in getting stuff shipped with UPS. So definitely be prepared for that. Hopefully they resolve it and don't go on strike, but the deadline's August 1st, so I'm sure if they do go on strike, you're going to hear more about it. But they are in the middle of negotiating right now, so always be prepared, ready to pivot. It's just part of running and owning a business online, things that we got to deal with. The last thing that I'm going to dive into, and this is a change that Etsy is expanding on, is the make an offer feature. They recently made this change this year for vintage goods where customers could make an offer. You could set your listings to be available for them to make an offer on them for a specific price lower than the listed price. It is not a new feature out there. Poshmark has it. Obviously, eBay has it. Other platforms have the make an offer feature. Etsy is beginning to get into that realm and give buyers and sellers different pricing strategies, different ways to mess around with their pricing, and then make an offer is the next logical step. So they have went from vintage to now they started to expand it to the handmade realm. So they're testing it right now. Not everyone has this at their fingertips to play with. I don't have it yet, but some people have it where you can make an offer on your handmade goods in addition to vintage goods, and give buyers the ability to make an offer on your actual purchase or before they purchase on the product, and then you can have the ability to accept that offer. I'm not sure how that looks, the back end functionality about it. I know they're still trying to iron things out when it comes to the make an offer feature, But basically, on the July 12th statement, they said that I don't know why I'm laughing, but because I know people are just getting really really pissed about this because they think that it's it's downgrading the quality of items. It's going to make people be even cheaper. It's going to cut into our profits. And all those things may be true, but you don't have to use the make an offer feature. Will people expect it across the board? I don't think so. Even eBay, it's been widely used for a long time, but there's plenty of people that don't use the best offer feature. So if you don't want to use it, and you don't have to use it, you may want to test it. You can raise your prices a little bit to account for that difference, that loss with the make an offer. So I mean, at the end of the day, it's just an added feature that we have at our fingertips. But basically, what I was getting at is Etsy basically says you can use the make an offer feature for these reasons: to clear out sale inventory, encourage shoppers to buy in bulk. Basically, you can look and see what other items they're purchasing, and maybe you want to allow them to get something cheaper if they've already purchased or going to purchase other items. Make sales you might have missed. You can test out this tool to give yourself a sale boost, and then also test out pricing. If you have something that's one of a kind, a one-off thing, maybe you want to set the price high with the make an offer option because you're not sure. There's no comps out there, so you can use it kind of that way as well. So those are the reasons that they gave. And the back end, kind of how this works as of now, is once someone makes an offer, they have 48 hours to check out. If the offer is accepted, they have 48 hours to check out and buy that item. Unless it's already purchased before then they are not going to be able to buy it because it's not there anymore. So they are also working on, as far as expanding this feature, Etsy has said that they are working to allow you to select individual listings. So soon you'll be able to choose individual listings for make an offer outside of suggested listings and opt them in and out as make an offer as needed. So I guess the way that it's working now is they are suggesting listings to do it on. You can't just pick and choose which listings you're doing it. The other thing is customer discount limits. Soon you'll have the flexibility for choosing your maximum discount. So I think there are some limits. Since I haven't seen this personally, I'm not sure how it looks right now, but there are limits to the discount that you can set. And then more optimized buyer experience. So if you send a buyer an adjusted price, they have 48 hours to check out at that price unless the item sells first. They said they're working on ways to make sure that buyers respond to your adjusted price quickly. So I'm sure it's the back end marketing notifications, things that are sent out to the buyers to get them to actually check out, because people may submit an offer and then you don't get back to them right away, and then they forget about it, they go on with their lives, and then nothing happens. It doesn't get purchased. So they're probably going to work on some push notifications, some emails at a minimum, to get people to remind them that, hey, they accepted your offer, go ahead and check out and buy the thing. Those are the things that I wanted to talk about. I know the make an offer thing is controversial in the fact that really a lot of people hate it because they feel it's going to cheapen their products, and it's going to bring in an audience that they don't want, people looking for bargains. But that audience honestly is everywhere. People are always looking for bargains. You should always have promotions and sales strategies in your business anyways, just because it's part of doing business. It's part of driving traffic and sales. You have to work out different promotions and account for that in your margins. Make sure your margins are good enough to be able to run sales and promotions, and the make an offer feature is just another way to do that. So it'll be interesting to see once it's fully rolled out, how it works, the functionality of it. I'm sure it's not going to be perfect for sure. So hopefully I get it soon so I can actually test it out and see if it gives me any type of sales boost, gives me a couple extra sales a week. I'm down with that. I'd be ready to get a couple extra sales a week by doing the make an offer. And I do it. I still sell on eBay, and I use the make an offer pretty much on every listing, just because if I want to get stuff sold faster, I'll throw a make an offer out there and see. Some people won't lowball you, and you can on eBay at least set where a minimum, or a maximum, so where they can't lowball you. And I know Etsy is probably working on that as well, so you can set it and they're not giving you the low super low price, and it's just wasting your time because you're not going to accept it. So it'll be interesting to see. The jury's still out on how this is going to work, and if it's going to be a really good thing. I'm always looking forward to extra features, extra functionality in terms of pricing and sales strategies. So I'm all game. We'll see how this works, and I will definitely keep you guys updated on things to come in regard to this topic. But that's it for today's episode. Hopefully it didn't ruin your Friday or your weekend. You shouldn't let it do that. Come on, it's not that bad. It'll get better, but have an amazing rest of your day. I'll be back soon with another episode for you guys. I'll talk to you later.